All right, so in order to turn the taper, this is kind of what your part should look like. You have this 614 thousandths diameter turned all the way back to here, and you're gonna turn a taper from the smaller diameter until it tapers out here. In order to do that, you need to turn that compound right here to 1.5 degrees. So this line right here is sitting in between the 1 and the 2. You do that by loosening this screw and the screw on the back. That you don't take these screws all the way out, you just crack them loose, you rotate, and then you retighten. And then in order to really get the ability to turn the entire taper, you're gonna need to start off with your compound cranked all the way to the right. What it does is it gives you some clearance issues. So sometimes you're gonna run into the tailstock here, back here. So you need to make sure that you have your tailstock almost out the full amount. You need to make sure your tool is almost out the full amount while still being engaged by 3 screws. And then you need to make sure you're all the way to the right. And that will give you the appropriate amount of space and clearance to be able to turn this entire thing down while being supported by the live center. All right, so you're starting off right at this right shoulder here. And then you touch off on your x-axis and you zero it out. And then you're gonna be turning back until it tapers out. So you can plunge in your normal amount, about 50 right here. You're gonna be going in maybe about 50 thousandths or so. And then you're gonna turn using the compound. So we're using the compound to turn this taper. And you're gonna see it's gonna start cutting an angle. And this is a good technique with that compound. Like you were doing. And then eventually it's gonna taper out. Once it stops cutting, you can come back to your starting position. And then plunge in. And the goal is to just reach that smaller shoulder right there. So you're gonna go in until you contact that shoulder. The last step or the last pass is gonna start right in the corner at this shoulder and where the taper meets. What we ultimately want is just a nice gradual transition into the taper. And so now we see as he's taking this cut, nice and slow. He's going nice and slow for a finish pass, and it also now just gradually tapers or starts to taper from that shoulder, from that diameter. And he's just gonna complete it, and it should end up tapering out somewhere over here, and then he's done with that step.